Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about something that was first introduced in Michael Crichton's second Jurassic novel, The Lost World. If you've read the book, you'll know that it's drastically different from its movie counterpart, and that it features a lot of things that took many sequels to finally discuss in the film canon. With that being said, there is still one major component of Crichton's second novel that has never shown up in the movies, mainly because of how it radically changed everything surrounding InGen's Dinosaurs. Now, even though it didn't show up in the second part of the film series, part of me feels like it would fit perfectly into the last installment of the Jurassic World trilogy. If you've read the Crichton novels, you'll know that I'm talking about the DX disease, a deadly illness that spread to all of the animals on Isla Sorna and killed them over a short period of time. I've talked about this numerous times before in the past, so I'm only going to give a brief description of the disease now. Basically, in The Lost World, we learn that the animal handlers did a poor job of selecting the proper meat that the carnivores should consume. Instead of something safer, they opted to feed the baby dinosaurs sheep's meat, which unfortunately became infected with prions. These prions are extremely simple disease-causing entities. You have to actually ingest the protein fragments for them to invade your body. But since park workers were literally feeding the infected sheep's meat to the dinosaurs, this is exactly what happened. And eventually, the disease would spread all over the island once the infected carnivores bit into any of the Site B herbivores. This proves to be a rather wild shift in message from the first story, where Ian Malcolm repeatedly tells us that life finds a way. In The Lost World, we were supposed to learn that death can find a way too. But alas, none of this stuff happened in Steven Spielberg's second movie, and instead we got a pretty different story that owed much of its plot to the 1925 movie version of The Lost World, rather than Crichton's best-selling novel. Still, in my opinion, Jurassic World 3 could be the one film in the series to finally adopt this deadly disease to its story's narrative. Now, the main reason I say this is because the Jurassic World trilogy has, so far, proven to be far more interested in exploring the ideas and scenarios that were written in Crichton's books than the Jurassic Park sequels that came before them. If you go back to Lost World and JP3, you'll be hard-pressed to find any science fiction talk or any real dialogue-heavy excerpts that originated in the author's novels. But now, the Jurassic World movies are a totally different story. These films lean heavily on ideas and concepts that involve genetic engineering, creating wholly unique dinosaurs, and the ethical repercussions of this technology on the modern world. And if Colin is really thinking about delivering one final movie that's supposed to wrap up all 6 films in the franchise, what better way to do that than by adapting what Crichton put forth at the end of his Jurassic Park duology? If dinosaurs are really going to be all over the planet, wouldn't an adaptation of the DX disease provide a compelling conflict in the movie's plot? And wouldn't that drive the story forward into unknown territory? If you infect all of the dinosaurs with some sort of disease that could possibly kill them, just imagine the ethical questions that the world would face in its runtime. Surely there will be people on both sides of the argument, and as we've seen with Ian Malcolm in Fallen Kingdom, some older characters are very much on the opposite side of people like Owen and Claire. This could provide another Crichton-driven story that delivers a unique twist on the normal JP sequel formula. Instead of just crashing a plane onto a dinosaur island, you'll get your book adaptation of both dinos on the mainland, as well as the deadly disease that wiped them all out in The Lost World. Now, I want to make it very clear that we currently have no evidence to suggest that this is the direction that they will go in. The only reason I'm saying that it's a possibility for Jurassic World 3 is because these new movies have adapted a lot of ideas from the novels that were previously left confined in those books' pages. Contemporary fans of Crichton's work in the 90s were quite displeased with the fact that Spielberg opted to throw away much of the second story, and JP3 didn't really bring anything from that book to the table. But again, like I said before, the Jurassic World trilogy is a very different story, and if they've gone ahead and adapted much of the ideas that were left out of the Park sequels, who's to say that they won't continue in their own footsteps and adapt more in their final entry? Anyways, those are all just my thoughts on the subject, and I'm curious to hear all of yours. What do you think the plot will be of the 6th Jurassic movie? And do you personally think that the DX disease may show up in Jurassic World 3? I think it's a possibility, but again, we can't really predict anything this far out. Now, whatever your own thoughts and opinions happen to be, I'd love to hear them in the comments down below. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. It really means the world to me that all of you guys enjoy what I do so much, and I'm extremely thankful to have all of your incredible support. Now I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video and hope you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. See you all in the next one, guys, and as always, take it easy.